Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Thursday, the 30th of January, and as a disclaimer, I have to say this is this video is for educational purposes only, to show you how I use technical analysis, how you can use it, and all the components, how you can read the market. I try to read the market. There is no, and I have to underline, there's no advice or recommendation whatsoever intended doing this video. Let's start with Meta, that in the after hours, after market closed, moved higher to and closed higher to 692 after earnings, pushing to new all-time highs, as we can see here, and we can remove this one. So very strong indeed. On the weekly, you could see RSI closed above the upper falling trend line, massively above, and it has been in the making for quite some time. You can see the past few days here, it pushed really much higher. So really strong earnings that or strong move that could push the indices higher when they are opening today. Also, Tesla slightly higher after earnings. It has been a bit depressed lately. Closed in the after hours around 405. Has been a little bit depressed. If it can get back up and close above 426.50, then we could see Tesla resuming bullish trends, and it could be seen if it's after sleeping on it, the market will push it higher above here. Still in a bullish trend, no divergence on weekly, indicating likely higher levels. S&P 500 was a little bit down yesterday, but pre-market here up is a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's pushing a little bit higher in the normal trading later today. Very close to close the gap up to this candle here. We are still in a bullish trend. However, we are above the cloud, RSI positive, likely to push higher in the coming days and weeks. We have Nasdaq that was slightly lower yesterday, but still bullish trend, and if we can close the gap up to 21,738, well, the bullish trend really has resumed, and we could push higher. It is required to take out 20,538 to turn bearish. Dow Jones index took a little breather yesterday, but it's in a bullish trend, likely to push higher. I think we'll see a new all-time high fairly soon, above 45,000. Positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating likely higher levels. Of course, there can be a little bit of correction going on after this strong move the past few weeks here. But we are in a bullish trend, and is likely to push higher on Dow Jones also. European markets and EUROStoxx50 pushing higher. New all-time high close. It wasn't highest level. It was a couple of days ago or last week, but it was the highest close, and we are likely to push higher. Slightly divergence, but it is pointing higher to higher levels, and I think we could see EuroStoxx pushing higher here in coming days. For that to change, a push below the 5,130, then we certainly in a little bit of a pickle there and could lower. But here pre-market, as you can see, we are pushing higher, and I think we'll see it pushing higher towards 5,300 in coming days. The DAX index also higher yesterday, new all-time high close, 21,600 and a change, and we are on course to test the 22,000 here pre-market, more or less unchanged, but I think we will push higher in the coming days and weeks. Expect correction, of course. We are a little bit stressed here, as you can see here. Short term, we are above we are around 80 on the RSI value, which is quite high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we could see a correction kicking in, maybe before we hit the 22,000. Euro dollar, well, taking a breather here. It was rejected here at the 786 retracement at 105.33. It needs to take out that for a push up to 106.30. If it slides back below 103.50, which I think it will, but no guarantee. And again, it's not an advice. It's just a level to look out for. Then I think we'll see a downtrend to resume. Cable also unchanged here overnight. Still could push up to the 61.8. It almost reached it there, but 55 moving average coming down, putting a putting a lid on it. And RSI is still a negative sentiment, got rejected at the 60 threshold. If we are sliding lower here below 123.5 area, then I think we'll see the downtrend resuming. Euro sterling has found some support here around the 50% or 0.5 provide a retracement of this uptrend here, and that is around 83.68. Dipped a little bit below. I still think we could see a dip down to 61.8 at 83.40. But RSI is still in a positive sentiment, and if it starts bouncing back, if we go back above 84, I think uptrend will resume, and we will have another go at this resistance area here around 84.75. If it takes out that level, then we are definitely pushing lower. But I don't expect that. Let's just remove these once that are obsolete, and I think we'll see a bounce here fairly short. But look out for another dip lower. Yen pairs on the move. Dollar yen seems to be resuming downtrend. I think it will take out the spike down here that it's at the 50% of this uptrend here at 153.75, likely to push down to the 200 moving average and the 61.8 at 152.55. And as we can see here, RSI currently testing for the threshold. So let's see if it takes out that. Well, then we are looking at this level where the 100 moving average also coming up, adding a little bit of support. The euro yen, well, resuming downtrend. If it closes below the cloud area here, well, the 159.80 support is being under threat or being tested. And if it takes it out, well, then we're looking at 158 level. We are starting to have lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So it could be that scenario that will play out. Aussie yen already resumed downtrend. We talked about it after this sell-off here on the 27th. Likely to test the 95.5 support area, and remove this one, got rejected there. I think we'll push lower here in the coming weeks towards 95.94. Sterling yen also lower, and I think it seems like we're resuming downtrend after being rejected at 61.8 retracement. Support at 189.55 could be tested once again. Aussie dollar, well, yeah, resumed downtrend as we talked about, taking a little breather here around 62. RSI got rejected at the 60 threshold, so we are likely to push lower, and I think we'll see it testing at the falling trend line there fairly shortly. And let's just add a Fibonacci so we can see what's going on. We are currently here around the 61.8, and if I were you and working with this, I will then remove these ones so we could see what's actually going on. There we are, 62, around 62 level. If it takes out that, well, then we're likely to push lower in the coming days and weeks. Dollar Canada still sideways in this range here, so let's just move on. Sterling Canada also 180, needs to take out 180 for further upside potential, otherwise we could slide back. However, RSI in a bullish trend, positive sentiment. If it takes out the peak here from the other day, that was slightly 179.90, 92, slightly below 180, then we are likely to push higher towards 81, 181 and 182. Euro Swiss, well, could still test the lower rising trend line here, but as we can see, the positive sentiment on the RSI, and if RSI moves back above 60 threshold, then I think we'll see an uptrend to resume, and that could next go at the resistance here at 95, could take it out. Finally, I know it did close a little bit above, but then it could take it out and potentially up to 95.5, 95.80. Dollar Swiss, that bounced strongly here the other day from the 55 moving average, could resume uptrend. I would say it will resume uptrend if we, and let's just draw this, if it takes out these levels here around 91.15, then uptrend has resumed. RSI is likely to get back above 60 threshold, supporting that. So keep an eye on that. For now, a little bit of range bound. Same picture on dollar index almost, after bouncing around the 61.8 retracement, didn't get all the way down to the 786 retracement. So we are caught, I think, range bound here between 107 and 108 and a quarter. If we move back above 108 and a quarter, actually 108.35, then I think we'll see uptrend to resume. Gold pushing higher, and I think it will take out the spike there at 27.86. If it does that, well, then there's potential to 28.15, 28.35. If it takes out on the downside at 27.26, then it has demolished for at least short term. It's a bullish trend, but RSI positive, no divergence, indicating likely higher levels. On the silver, if it will update, it didn't do that. I pressed the wrong button. There we are. 31, a close above 31, and RSI close above 60 threshold. It has established a bullish trend that could push it higher to around 32 level. If it closes above the cloud, then there's a further upside potential. Copper, well, spiked lower yesterday, but did not get all the way down to the 61.8 retracement at 418 quarter before bouncing. And if it can push a little bit higher here above on 430 the next couple of days, and if we can get RSI back above 60 threshold, which already is in a positive sentiment, no diversion, indicating likely higher levels, we could see a move up to 447, 450. On the energy side, we have WTI is dropping lower here. And that would be interesting here in the next couple of days. We could see it moving all the way down to the 71 level, but that could also mean that we could see RSI below 40 threshold. So that will be key to watch out for. But we have the 55 moving average coming up. We have the 100 giving some support in this area. So it's not unlikely we could see a spike lower. But if it doesn't and it starts moving back above 74, then I think we will see uptrend, and I think it will be confirmed if we get a push back above the 75 level, then uptrend has resumed. Brent Crude is not exactly the same behavior. Yes, it is sliding lower, but above its support here around $76, and it could hold, but let's see if it takes out that level. There is still risk down to 74 and a quarter. I'm not quite sure we'll get all the way down there because we have the 55 and the 100 moving average coming up, giving some support. Dutch gas, on the other hand, closed higher yesterday, a level not seen since 2023. Closed above $51, 51.42, not dollars, sorry, it's trading in euros. And what we could see here on the weekly, look at that, if we're zooming in here, and I'll actually expand that so you can see it even better. So here we have the weekly, sorry about that, it's teasing me a little bit. We can see it is likely to push higher towards the 55, 56, and these areas here since 2023. The RSI is currently above its falling trend line, and could support the higher levels on the Dutch gas or European gas. On the Henry Hub gas, the massive sell-off here the other day got to the 100 moving average just above the $3. Could bounce in the next couple of days. Keep an eye on it, but there's still risk to push below $3. If it moves below 297, then we could see a further collapse, but I think we'll see a little bit of a bounce. The US 10-year Treasury yields, well, we have this potential head-shoulder pattern, neckline at 450. That is key support. If it does close below that level, well, then we could see a drop down to around the 438 level, maybe even down to around 434 and a quarter. But let's see, if it bounces off and takes out 467, then uptrend is to resume. The 2-year is currently below its, well, chart is a little bit slow, sorry about that, below the rising trend line, but the key support here, 415, should be observed, and now we are bouncing off the cloud here, and if it moves back above the 430 level, then uptrend has resumed. On the European markets, we have the, let's see here, I can get it updated, there we are, and the European market, or the European 10-year, well, after the strong bounce, a little bit of breather here, just below 260, but we are in a bullish trend, no sentiment, no divergence on the RSI, positive sentiment likely to push higher in the coming weeks. If it takes out 245, then we could see a push down to around 238. The UK sideways in this range here around 460, a little bit lower, a little bit higher. It needs to take out 470 to push higher, and the key support here at 450. Crypto and Bitcoin are crawling higher, but it needs to take out the 109,358 to confirm a bullish trend, and that will say higher high, higher low, higher highs. RSI flirting with a 60 threshold again, so let's see here the next couple of days what can it do. If it takes out the spike down here at 97,715, then we could see the 90,000 being tested again. Ethereum on the other hand, well, it bounced off the 3,000 level, could push higher, so that is key. If it closes below that, well, then we could see a sell-off here. So, but it's currently actually in a downtrend, so it's a little bit against or opposite to the Bitcoin. And we see the 55 moving average really turning around there. So that's giving a little bit of a pressure at the moment. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and talk to you again.